Hi everyone, how you all doing? I'm guessing pretty good after that Newcastle victory tonight. What a week it's been. Three wins away to, not just any away wins, but Man United away 2-0, Spurs away 2-1, and then Arsenal here 2-0 tonight in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. A pretty amazing night. And an amazing 8 days. It's been pretty incredible, and the bandwagon rolls on. Before I get on to talk about the match tonight, just a quick news update from Eddie Howe's press conference. As you can see, I'm here in the press room in the bowels of the Emirates Stadium. He was asked repeatedly about Martin Dubravka tonight after it appeared as though he was saying his goodbyes to the travelling fans at the end. It looked like he had a tear in his eye. He's been consoled by a couple of teammates. Eddie, non-committal to start with, said that knows nothing about it, and he'll need to check later, but then was pressed on it, and he said, look, I want him to stay. It would not be my want for him to leave. So it sounds very much as though Martin Dubravka looks like he's on his way out the door to Al-Shabaab in Saudi, and that was a suggestion a few days ago. Reports over in Saudi had said that Dubravka had essentially agreed to join the Saudi Pro League side. It just seems so strange for them to allow him to go now when, I mean, he's been playing out his skin the last few weeks. He's obviously come in to replace Nick Pope, and he doesn't deserve to be dropped when Nick Pope comes back in. He's been phenomenal, and it would seem a strange time for him to go, with potentially a cup final on the horizon if Newcastle manage to finish the job against Arsenal next month. But just from those pictures at the end, it looks as like he's gone. And Eddie's saying it would be my wish that he would sign a new contract and stay. So it sounds as though he's been sold against the manager's wishes, which obviously is very strong. But let's not try and let's not like sort of stick on a negative here. Let's talk about the performance tonight. And that's as good an away performance as we've seen for some time. Obviously, they were great against Manchester United a couple of weeks ago, but I think we all agree Arsenal are a significantly better side than Man United, and I think Newcastle did everything they needed to do to get a win like that. I think not in their wildest dreams did they think they'd come here and win 2-0 tonight. I think if they'd left with a draw, it would have been seen as a victory almost. So to leave with a 2-0 win, I think almost insurmountable for Arsenal. It's packed St James's Park next month. I can't see them going there and scoring, and winning 3-0 or taking it to extra time. I think Newcastle should, at home, have enough to get the job done. But what a performance. Alexander Isak, unplayable again. I mean, look, he's probably played better than that, but every time he got the ball, he just absolutely scared the Arsenal defenders, particularly in that first half. Just his running power, pace, touch. I mean, obviously even his finish. I thought when I watched it was a little bit of a miss it, but it wasn't. He's put it into the one part of the goal that the goalkeeper didn't have covered. So really good finish again to make it 10-8 for the striker. Scored in the last, I'm actually losing count, is it the last 8 games I think he scored? And you can see why clubs like Arsenal are circling for his services. So brilliant from him, really good finish for the first. Gordon pouncing for the second, and obviously he's back in goal scoring form again. And with them two playing like that, Newcastle are going to be a handful for anyone. I thought Tonali was again exceptional in midfield, and Newcastle have won a game without Bruno Guimaraes, which Eddie Howe said afterwards in his press conference shows that we are growing as a side. The fact that finally we can win without Bruno, and of course Fabian Schär as well. But I think special praise tonight needs to be reserved for the defence, the back two in particular. I thought Sven Botman and Dan Burn were sensational. The amount of blocks, putting their body on the line, just man mountains at the back, and the two of them ably assisted by Martin Dubravka, who we've touched on already. Just phenomenal, right? Really playing for the shirt, and I think Newcastle look just such a more solid side with Sven Botman back. Yes, he's not 100%. He still looked a little bit rusty. I thought there was one point in the first half when Martinelli absolutely outstripped him for pace, and it looked like he was running in Trico really. But look, I think Martinelli can do that to most players, and I think just having his leadership and his size and his bulk and his bravery at the back is something that, you know, bodes well, having him back in the team, and he's back in just at the right time, of course, with the Fabian Schär being suspended. But I thought him and Byrne tonight were sensational at the back. Now, let's not get carried away and say Newcastle bossed that game. They didn't. Like, that could easily have ended 2-2 or 3-3, or Arsenal could have pinched it 2-1. They had plenty of chances themselves. But as Mikel Arteta said afterwards, Newcastle were just efficient. They took their chances. They did everything they needed to do. It was a perfect away performance. And look, it's not easy to come here and win. As I say, Arsenal have not lost here at the Emirates since April last year. They've not lost domestically since Newcastle beat them on November the 2nd. So although the results have been a little bit patchy, they've drawn a few games, they've probably not been playing the free-flowing football they were earlier on this season. They've still been picking up points, but for Newcastle to come here and win by 2 and take that cushion into the second leg, it could not have gone any better for them tonight. And as I say, without Bruno, without Fabian Schär, with your second choice goalkeeper in goal, it's a pretty good outcome, and it feels very much like they've got one foot in the cup final now. So you know, start looking at, I mean, obviously you don't want to get ahead of yourselves, but I'm sure there'll be one or two people now looking at Wembley in the middle of March and thinking, you know, should I be looking into reserving hotels and whatnot, because it feels very close. And I just can't see Newcastle, especially with Eddie Howe at the helm, slipping up from a 2-goal lead. Now, Eddie didn't want to get carried away afterwards, but I think he knows inside that he's got enough there within the squad to get that job done in a few weeks' time. In terms of the manager, I thought that was a tactical masterclass from him tonight. He said the players were like absolutely spent in the second half. He said he could actually tell at half time, which is why they just dug in like that the second half. I think actually, I mean, it looked to me like they were almost playing like a 5-5-0 for the last 20 minutes. You know, they obviously went to the back five, took off Isak, took off Gordon, took off Murphy, the front three, and it looked like 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, with no strikers, and just trying to defend till the end and ensure that they didn't concede one. Because had Newcastle conceded one, I think towards the end, it would have really given Arsenal a bit of hope, and it would have put a total different dimension onto the second leg. But a 2-0 scoreline just is a lot more comfortable. But look, I thought brilliant management from Eddie Howe to come here and mastermind that, especially when he's got a lot of tired legs. Yes, of course, Arsenal do as well. But look, they've got a better standard of player throughout the squad. So to come here and win like that on the back of 2 huge away games at Man United and Spurs says a lot about the team morale and the togetherness that's been fostered right now. So yeah, bravo to the manager. And you know, it's amazing to think that there was some fans out there not so long ago, a matter of weeks ago, saying that Eddie had to go, which seems crazy now when you look at what is actually going on at the club. And you know, you look at the matches coming up, obviously a match against Bromley that they should score a few on Sunday and get through to the next round, but then a number of winnable Premier League games coming up. Like, this juggernaut could roll on for a few weeks yet, with more than winnable games against teams towards the bottom end of the Premier League. It feels like those 3 out the way, Man United, Spurs and Arsenal, it feels like the hard ones have been dealt with, and now you move on to games that really you should be winning, and you can sort of underline the change, and you know, really, you know, see Newcastle where we kind of all feel they should be, at the top end of the table. And finally it feels as though things are clicking now. What I think is going to happen now is the players are going to get a few days off. I'd imagine some of them will probably head off, might not even go back to Newcastle, might go back home, might stay down in London, might fly off somewhere from here over the next couple of days. And I think it'll probably be a shadow side it takes on Bromley on Sunday. Certain guys need to get minutes under their belt, and they will play. But I think all your regulars who've been playing a lot, your Isaks, your Gordons, your Tonales, etc. Dan Byrne, they'll all be rested up on Sunday, and I think you'll see the likes of Miggy and Harvey Barnes and Will Osula, etc. play against League Two Bromley on Sunday. So a good fixture for Newcastle to have, to try and get the squad used and to give a vital rest to those players whose legs will be very, very weary. Now, I say a rest, it's only a week. Of course, Wolves at home next Wednesday night, and the games come thick and fast after that. But really tonight, a famous night for Newcastle United to come here to a ground. They always struggle. They'd only scored 1 goal here in their last 9 attempts. They've come here tonight, scored 2, have not conceded any, and I've got 1 foot in the final at Wembley in March in the Carabao Cup, with the opportunity, if they get the job done against Arsenal, to finally put an end to 70 years of trophy drought. So I can see exactly why the supporters were excited and happy at the end, and that must have been some away trip to be on tonight. I wonder what was better, actually, this or the Man United one last week, or Spurs at the weekend. I mean, it's been a great week for the travelling supporters, and I'm sure you guys will be all heading back up to the northeast, whether on your buses tonight or your trains tomorrow morning. Pretty happy after that performance tonight, because I think we all thought Newcastle had a chance of going away with something. I don't think any of us in our heart of hearts thought Newcastle would win 2-0 away from home at Arsenal. So it's been a good old 8 days or so. So let's keep an eye on the Martin Dubravka situation, but it doesn't sound great to me. It sounds like he's probably going to go. Sounds like the manager's not happy about it. And you can understand why. It's amazing, actually. He looks like he's improved a lot since last year. And it would feel very strange for him to go now when he's in the team, he's playing out his skin, and he's potentially got a cup final round the corner. But maybe he just feels financially it's something he needs to do at this stage in his career. Anyway, that's it. Ramblings from me tonight. I'm off back to my hotel. Hopefully the fire alarm doesn't go off at 4 o'clock in the morning like yesterday, and can actually get some sleep. Back here in the morning for a couple of lives from the stadium, and then back up to Newcastle tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. Hope you've all had a good night. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers now.